Hello, and God bless you. Hey, this is Ellen Mongan, host of Go Tell the World, and my co-host today is Jane Ann Bonbrake. Hey, Jane Ann.
Hey, good. How are you doing, Ellen? I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. We were first original, well, it was June and Jane and I, original co-hosts for a podcast called Wow Mom. And then then that sort of fizzled for a while, maybe because of my many moves. And then Jane and I were for Wow Mom for a while, and now we're doing Go Tell the World. She comes on whenever she can, and she's got a new ministry. So what's your ministry, Jan?
Well, I am now the director of the Kolbe Center here in Macon, Georgia. And we are a pro-life center and we help moms and babies. We help the moms. We give pregnancy tests. We give ultrasounds and pregnancy tests for verification of pregnancy. And then we can help get them resources like going to a clinic or getting Medicaid, getting them a doctor. If they already have a doctor, and some women already do, then we just give them the verification and then they can come back for ultrasounds because we do ultrasounds in the beginning and we also do 3D ultrasounds.
Oh, that's such a gift. Sometimes if you're a mom or if you're not a mom, if you're just a teenager and you've never seen an ultrasound, then to know that you're pregnant,
Yes.
that changes everything. That you can't, a person's a person no matter how small, Jan, right? But they probably are like,
Oh,
whoa.
oh, absolutely. Well, that's the number one thing in helping women that come in abortion minded that help them want to keep their babies. Like we had a lady come in, excuse me, a couple of weeks ago, and she had not had an ultrasound. She had not done anything, and her partner, her boyfriend, was help kind of pressuring her to have an abortion. She was definitely on the fence, and we got her an ultrasound, and then she had twins, and she didn't know she had twins,
And she
and
was so
so
excited.
yeah, so just to see that, and they were both in separate sacks. So just to see that, and just to see that look on her face, I mean, it changed everything. I mean, just, some people are like, well, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I know a lot of people, but no, when you see that ultrasound and you know that baby is growing in your tummy, and it's just a miracle. I mean, it's just a miracle every time. And I sit in sometimes, not every time, but on the ultrasounds, and it's just amazing. I never ever get tired of doing the ultrasounds and looking at the babies. It's just amazing.
Well, Janice said much about herself, but she has 11 children. And I always think that God takes us on a journey, and our journey brings us to our ministry. And she's great on air, and she's fabulous at mothering and being a great wife to JR. But this is like how he shows
Thank you.
us that he's on your journey, he's training you up for something. So don't be dismayed. And if you're even a teenager out there and you're scared or afraid, you have to look for sources. Older women, look for people that are pro-life and try to get to the place where you can get some peace and get like an ultrasound. So Jen, what do you think? What do you think about the job? Tell me a little about Kolbe Center. I love the Kolbe Center because I
Okay,
actually lived in Macon myself before. Go ahead.
right. It's okay. So I know a lot of people are like the Colby Center. I've had people say, "Do they do cars?" Like, what is that?
That's funny.
Um, but anyway, so the name came from Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who is a saint, and he died in Auschwitz concentration camp because he gave his life for another. And so he is the patron saint of actually pro-life families, and then also addicts, people who have addictions. He's
Mhm.
actually the patron saint to those. And so that's how we got the name the Kolbe Center, and it's Kolbe from St. Maximilian Kolbe. That's how we got the name.
And also
And
this, go on, go on. I'm
yeah.
so sorry. Go on.
And anyway, so we're a pregnancy care center, but we're more than that, because when the women come to us, we usually are doing a pregnancy test, so ultrasound or a urine test, and then we not only help the mom, but we help the mom with the child for 2 years. So when that child, all the way from one, so the child 1 and 2, we help her out. So we give a pack and play, we give infant car seat, we give diapers once every 7 days. They get a pack of diaper and wipes. They can come in for clothes. We have formula, and it's all free to the women. It's all free
Oh,
to the
that's right.
women. And so we have all walks of life coming in. And we also, our mission is that we cultivate a culture of life through advocacy, education, and support. So the advocacy part is definitely pro-life. And then we also partner with adoption agency. I came up with
Ooh,
like adoption is an option.
so it's
And
option, it's a great option.
it is a great option. And we had a lady come in at Christmas time. She walked in off the streets, really. I mean, not off the streets, but she came in and she was due in 5 days. And she did not want to keep the baby. She wanted to give it up for adoption. And what courage, Ellen, that it took for this girl. She was young. I mean, she didn't put forth any, whatever. But I called the Covenant Care Adoption, and they immediately came over and they handled the whole situation. Beautiful. So anyway, so that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. So we're kind of a niche in Middle Georgia area, and that we don't just say, okay, well, you're pregnant and you're having the baby, bye. No, we help you out for 2 years. So that relieves a burden financially on the mom for thinking, I can't do this. So we're like, oh, you can do this because we're going to walk beside you for 2 years. And a lot of the moms that do come in, they already have children under 2 as well. So we're currently are seeing 766 children that we help out. And then the moms are growing exponentially. So in 1 week, we gained 15 new moms. So altogether now we have 345 new moms. That means moms that have never been into the Kolbe Center since since in the middle of the year. So we actually are seeing currently 345 pregnant moms and altogether 766 children.
And they do fundraisers too. And Jan's,
Yeah, so we do
besides being,
fundraisers. Well, we get it. We do grants, and we have donors. We have monthly donors, and so that's the way that we bring in to help support what we do. Because we do like and we also work in tandem with the social worker at Atrium Hospital,
okay,
and she can call us in because a lot of the moms they've been in NICU with their child, and she can call us, or they come. Actually, now the hospital's recommending us and saying
oh
go to the
great.
Kolbe Center because we're right now. We're a mile and a half from the hospital, from either one, really, from Piedmont or from Atrium. So yeah,
Right, makes like a small town. Lots of people know each other, but it's such a
yes.
great thing to accompany someone. Don't you think it changes everything for them? Because a
Oh,
lot of
it
times,
it it changes their whole perspective, their whole life. I mean, really and truly, if some days the moms just need a hug, they'll come in and they'll get their supplies and they just may need a hug. Or we find too that we also have resources for moms that are homeless. Like we get calls once a week where the mom has children and maybe she's looking for a place to stay. And we do have resources for that as well. And we also work in conjunction, of course, with and
they might
which
not
is
know what FAM
another
is.
Catholic pro-life or
Okay,
another Catholic organization, and they offer
I know FAM.
classes and things like that. But what I'm finding too, because this will be my 5th month, the end of March, Macon has a very generous community.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. Go shout out
Mhm.
for Macon, Georgia, and shout out for
Yes,
Bob,
very, very,
Suzanne and Richard. Dr. Richard Rowe had a vision to do this for the
yes.
community.
Hmm.
They were our closest friends, and Jan and JR got to be closer friends as we left because I just met you, kind of were my team for, and so they're just good people, and they're just like some people you probably question if someone does something just for the very reason to do
Hmm.
something to help this world. That's a good thing. And that's Richard and Suzanne. They have just big hearts. Same with Jan and JR. But I'm interested in that bunko for bucks. How'd that go, Jan?
Bunko for babies. So
Yeah,
this was my
bunko for
official
bucks, I'm saying.
this was my official first fundraiser ever.
Okay.
But I'm very delighted, and it went very well. And so what we do is we have these gift baskets, and people can. It's a silent auction. The gift baskets are on there filled with all kinds of things. And then we have raffle tickets, and then people they buy tickets at the door, like $1 a ticket, or you can buy 125 for $100, and you go and then bunko is just a dice game. So
Okay.
anyway, so a lot of people came that never played bunko before. I personally had never played bunko before. So
I played
until
once.
this,
I wanted to go so bad. So how'd that go? Then
it was so
if
fun.
you won at
It,
bunko, you get a basket, or if you they draw from the tickets.
yeah, so the baskets are silent auction. So we had sheets by each basket,
I see, yes,
and
yes.
you could bid on the basket. And then we had like 36 of those. And then the raffle tickets, there were 63 items, and there was a jar by each item. and you would just buy your tickets and then put what what you were going for. And then in the middle, like we just separated, like after the first round of bunco, we did 3 rounds. First round, then we would do some raffle tickets. Second round, same thing, and third round. So it was really good. And we have a dinner. So your ticket will buy you a dinner and frozen margaritas. We had them with liquor, without liquor. We had virgin ones and not virgin
They covered
ones.
all the bases.
I
And
covered
so
all the
much,
bases. We
and I
had
like a good
wine, we had
margarita.
water. Yeah, it was really fun. It was just really a great time. And so people also had an opportunity where they could be a sponsor if they wanted to. And they could do a sponsor, and they would get like advertising for us. We'd put them on our Facebook page, plus they'll be on our donor page on our website. And we've revamped our website recently. So yeah, it was really a good time. It was really fun.
I so want to be there. We have 8 children. Jan has 11, so I feel like a rookie here when she's on the show because she's so much more experienced.
Uh-uh.
And she says she hasn't done fundraisers, but she has a birthday party almost every month with it's like 11 children, their spouses, the grandkids, and it's like a fundraiser, but no one gives her any money. They just say thank you.
Or weddings, because I was like,
wedding.
that's what I kept telling myself in my mind. This is just like a wedding. It really was. We decorated, we set up, got food. It was just like a wedding.
Did anybody help you? She's had 3 weddings this year, so don't let her fool you. It's not a breeze.
Yeah.
But did some people help you with the children?
Oh yeah. So we operate strictly by volunteers,
Right.
and a lot of volunteers came, and then the board. We have 11 board members, and they all came and they all served.
Okay. And the people that are on the donor list, do they monthly donate or yearly, or what do they do with that? Because
They do.
I
We
want to be
have
a donor.
both. We have monthly donors, and then we have like the one-time donors, like the sponsor donors, because we just started that this year on the sponsorship. And there's certain things you get with the sponsorship. So we do both. And then one time, like, if you want to just give a one time, then we do all of it.
Yeah, we try to support. I try to support. Jane knows this. I have 20 co-hosts, and I start with 12. Well, I start with one, Jane Ann. Took 20 people to replace her. So I have 20 co-hosts. And I try to support their ministries. Like if they read a book, I try to support that. But this would be great
Yeah.
because I love Suzanne Richard as well. I just got charted in my mind. I do monthly, usually because once a month I write my little checks at the end of the month. And then if I forget, another letter comes and it reminds me to do that. But I want to talk about this, Jane. I actually have a situation where one of my children got pregnant before marriage, and I never realized the sacrifice she had made to raise this child. And then Kirk Cameron's one of my heroes. He's a movie star, which I thought movie stars are all great, but some are better than others. And so he actually made a movie. And in the movie, the lady was young, like my child, and gave away her baby to adoption. And I didn't realize till the end of the movie that the girl had considered abortion. And she did adoption, but she never had met her baby. I won't tell you the whole thing. I think the movie's called Life Mark. But the truth is, that could have been my grandchild. He could have been an abortion. He could have been adopted out, and I would never have known she had a child. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was like, she was such a gift, my daughter. I got such a healing that she was a hero, like a courageous daughter. Because, when you're in a family where your dad is a doctor and deacon, you don't kind of want to come and say, I'm pregnant. It's a really hard thing to even take the courage to tell your family. But ladies out there, if it's you, if you can't take the courage to do that, find somebody you can bring with you, or find some way that you could, it's their grandchild. See? So I was so blessed, Jan, Mama.
Yes.
My daughter had that courage. Wow. I mean, I'm sure that many people out there have had the story, or they are the story, and they just now are hearing this and want some healing. But look at how courageous it is to do that. And then for adoption, really quick, Jan, I used to work at the Care Pricing Center for service, and I taught the Bible studies, and I got to know the girls, and I also taught the classes like 0 to 6 months, and then pregnancy after, all different kind of classes. And I had this one girl come in because I didn't really believe in adoption. I'd go, no, the best place the baby is with their mama, because the mama has the right milk even that is made within her. And then I had this little girl, she was 11, I'll never forget her. And she had this tiny little boy, really teeny, and he was newborn, 1 week old. She's brushing his hair. And I started going, I'm thinking, just need a hairdo right now. And I just started thinking, 11-year-old isn't often ready to be a mama, even if they have the right milk and they have the right love for a doll, instead of a
Hmm.
child, but you're forming a human being. At 11,
Hmm.
you're barely formed. So if you're out there and you're pregnant, you're happen to by some chance see Jana and say, I want to, this is what these girls are saying. Know that sometimes the best option is adoption because
Hmm.
of your age, maybe because of your skills in the area of like raising a child, and maybe because of the fact that you don't even have a home that you could put the child in, that you're living with parents and they're not really welcoming for this. So
Right.
think about those options, Jen. What do you want to say?
Yes.
It's hard. Do you think it'd be hard to give up your baby though, right? It'd be hard, but
Yes, after having so many, absolutely. But like this, the girl who came in, it was like she knew right away. She was like, "This is what I want to do." And actually, so I talked to she delivered 2 days after she left our center. So, and it was a beautiful Christmas gift because it was right there at Christmas. It was right before Christmas. So some
wow.
family, and actually, I did a Facebook reel the other day where we have a volunteer who actually adopted her daughter 36 years ago,
Wow.
and she was
Okay.
telling, I asked her, what has adoption meant for you? And she's like, it's a blessing. We waited like, I think she said 9 years or 12 years. It was like 9 years before they were able to get their little girl. And they had to go. So, but there's always, and she said this, she goes, there's always somebody out there, a family that wants to adopt a child that if a mom decides, even after you had the child, is like, this is too much, I can't take care of it, then adoption definitely. But prior to that, like when you find out you're pregnant and you just can't do it, but it takes so much courage because the aftermath of aborting is way worse than just going through the 9 months and giving the baby and continuing on with the life instead of killing the child, but gave it life and to live in a family who wants a baby, or maybe can't have, a lot of these parents can't have children. So I
And that would be
believe
heartbreaking, but
wholeheartedly.
and yeah, and you know what else is that it's named the Kolbe Center. And because Maximum Kolbe laid down his life. And when you're a
Yes.
mama and you're carrying that baby 9 months for say adoption mom that cannot do what you're doing, then you're laying down your life for this other mama. And then I love the stories when they come back and meet their mom and they're so grateful that they were given
Yes. That they
that.
gave them
And
life.
I think it's so
Because
beautiful. And so I think it's one of those things that you don't choose. We all make mistakes in life. In fact,
right.
I'm putting out a new book soon about how, let's see, how I want to be a godly gal, about character for teens. And you don't choose it. Sometimes you make a mistake in life that
Hmm.
lasts the whole life through, and you don't want to do anything that will, at 11 especially, and that will affect your whole life and not make it what God has for you. So I'm going to say, let Jan talk a little more about it. What else do you want to say, Jen? Tell about the volunteers. How do you get the volunteers, and how do you go speak at churches, or do you at
No,
non-foods,
I
or
haven't done that. There was just original volunteers already there, and then we've acquired a few new ones. And really, to get volunteers, I just pray. I say, Lord, I need more volunteers. And every time, I mean, it's like God just is so good, and He will send the volunteers. But most of these women have been there for a long time, and they love. They're wholeheartedly about the Kolbe Center. They're wholehearted about the mission of these women because it's about saving moms, saving babies, and helping these moms. I mean, they have even more stories than me. I mean, I'm only going on my 5th month, and they have so many more stories than me. And it really just brings such a satisfaction to them to be able to serve these women in the center. It really is. It's truly a blessing.
I want to say something about the Colby Center. Some pregnancy center I've worked in, they really are just trying to make it. So they provide for the women. But the Colby Center is like top of the class. It's like
Thank
decorated
you.
well. It's clean. It's you go in there and you
So
see
pretty.
all the different. You go, this is very, very nice. There's a lot of them that are very nice. I'm associated with Elizabeth Ministry International in that Jeannie Heineman and Bruce and Pat and I got to be really good friends. They're out of Wisconsin, and that's a center that Elizabeth's ministry helps women, just like Elizabeth and Mary, and it's a great place too. But there are some that you have to say, woo. And so donating is good and serving is good. But the main thing you gotta do is pray for these women, the women of courage,
Yes.
that they didn't mean to, have sometimes their life to change in 1 second, but it does. And we all, I mean, at least I believe, and I want to say out loud, is that it's not just a seed, it's a baby. And if you
Hmm.
see, we want to talk about the sonograms a little more, like when you see that child, right in front of you, you almost go, and sometimes when you look at, I've had sonograms, because I have babies, not as many as most people, because I'm older and they didn't have sonograms. You see a baby,
Right.
you almost say it looks like so and so. You see it suck its thumb. You say, whoa, you see it. Well, they can tell what sex it is sometimes, boy or girl. Because
Yes.
there's ways of doing that. But I'm saying this, it's very important to just know and not make a mistake. There's mistakes you can take back. Like say you want a red light and then you pay the ticket. But mistake like that would be hard to take back. And you have to know that there's options out there. So Jane, you want to repeat
Right.
anything? Because we're not truly closed, but I'd like to hear more stories and we're like have 10
Yes.
more minutes.
We had so to go into the sonogram, so when the women go into the room, we have this little case of babies that are the true size of the size from
Oh,
like 4 weeks. I think it's like 12 weeks. And then the last one's 26 weeks. So you can actually hold them. It's the size of the baby at that stage of life. And so anyway, but I will say that the one thing I do want to say, the one really big thing we have to really that we're fighting against on the abortion, because since the heartbeat bill in Georgia after 6 weeks, no
okay.
abortion, but the RU 486. The RU 486 is the abortion pill or the morning after pill. And I do want to say this, we on our website we have an 800 number that you can call if you've taken that and you have changed your mind. There are other things you can do. And so I just put out a post about that as well. And so that's the really big thing, because a lot of women will come in, not a lot, but some women will come in for an ultrasound to see how many weeks they are. And that's okay, because that gives us an opportunity for them to see, their womb, to see what it looks like. And some of these women do have other children that are considering abortion. So anyway, but it just gives us an opportunity to speak with them and listen and really listen to their fears about what's really going on in their life. And so that's really important for us, and we enjoy that as well.
I wrote my Christmas letter this year. You haven't gotten it yet, probably because I haven't sent it out. I do it late. But in it, I said, you don't. I was at a care pregnancy center and I had this one gal come in with her boyfriend. And they were, this is a care pregnancy center where you could say something about the Lord. And so he was going, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in God. And I felt so sad in my soul. And I go, well, may you haven't met someone that knows Jesus, and then you would know him too because you'd want what they had. And
Yeah.
so he did, I know he did consider that. I did pray for him, but sometimes when you accompany someone and don't even
Hmm.
say God or Jesus or love, the love you show
Hmm.
when the people that show in care places around the country just makes real Jesus. You're Jesus with skin on. You're accompanying them. That's what God said. Love one another. So I think it's important, Jane. And the perfect person is Jane,
Yes.
who's 11 children and nurtures them along the way. She's still nurturing these children. They're not all grown.
Yes. No, 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 no. But I think too, I was just thinking of some other people that have come in.
Yeah.
And what's so wonderful is that we had one couple come in, and that when the couple is so excited about being pregnant,
Oh, the other guy.
that's just beyond. We had one gentleman come in. It was a couple, and it was the sweetest thing. When he saw that baby on the ultrasound, he started crying. He was just like, it was so sweet. He was so moved because he had never seen an ultrasound, never, and he was like, here was it was like this was his child,
Oh,
And I think another
awesome.
thing, yeah, it was like when another thing we were able to see women and walk them through was like, hey, just congratulations. A lot of women don't hear that,
Oh, I see what you're
like
saying.
just
Yeah.
congratulations. This is great news,
Mhm.
and so I think, that's really
Yes,
important
because
for us to, yeah,
life
life.
brings life.
And then,
Life, a little baby, see, even sitting in a shopping cart or even in a church, you go, you bring life to the situation.
yes,
When I was working at the center another time, I haven't done that this time. I've been back to Augusta. I don't even know if I did that in Macon, but another situation I had was a little blonde hair, blue eyed, peppy little girl, teenager, and like full of life, ready to like face the world. She found out she was pregnant, and I took the mom and her aside. I said, I used to not believe in adoption. I tell the story about the person going their hair because I thought it
yeah,
was a marvelous story. Like something that is okay. She was maybe a sophomore, junior, and they
yeah,
kept coming for the classes. 'Cause like I said, I taught classes, and then they came in and they said, we decided to keep the baby. She said, my
oh,
husband died. a year ago before the girl got pregnant. I think before the girl got pregnant, he had already died. And she said, we were so saddened by her, she was young, the mother was young too.
Right.
But this baby has brought such life to our family.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you know how God's love can change anything. He sends a
Yes.
baby. He came as a baby as well, so
That's right. And into a family. Yeah. So I mean it is a blessing. And just to see sometimes to see the faces of these women if they've never some women come in and they're maybe 5 to 6 months pregnant and not had an ultrasound or anything like that. And yeah, a lot, it's just great to see these children and some of them are flipping, the babies are flipping, some of them are kicking, some of them are waving. It's just amazing. Like I said, I never get tired of seeing ultrasounds and seeing the babies.
it's great. So I just want to thank you for coming on, Janet. Get ready to say your
Thank you.
last words and how to get a hold of people again, even at the Kolbe Center yourself. And that
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming on and talking so freely because, without life, there's nothing.
Right.
And I want to say for my last words, because I'll forget, is that we are born and then there's the dot between it, dot, 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 and then we die. And
Yeah.
what you do in between those dots, that's your ministry, your destiny, your legacy. And I always love to watch people like Jane Ann, younger than me by a lot, and see that how God trains them up and then he sends them out. He has a plan for you too. It's not just Jane Ann and I. He trains you
Hmm.
up in your gifts, your talents, your personality. He's not going to send you to the mission field if you're 89 years old. He trains you up in what you can do for him. And so don't give up and keep on taking that journey forward. And then one day you
Hmm.
look back and go like, whoa, how did that happen? I do every day with my children. They're all grown. And I go, how did that happen? Now I'm not a nana, so, and you are as well. So what do you think for your last words, Jan, to sum it up?
Okay, so we can be reached. I can be reached at director at colbecentermacon.org, or you can visit our website, colbecentermacon.org as well. It's the same as my email address, except for director at the front. And yeah, consider being a monthly donor. Come to the center and visit us. We're on 833 Walnut Street in Macon, Georgia. Or if you're in Macon or around this area, if you want to volunteer your time or looking to be part of a community, then we're more than happy to have you. And thank you, Ellen, so much for allowing me to come on and speak about the Kolbe Center. We are trying to get the word out more about like what the Kolbe Center does. Like I said, I feel like we're a hidden gem in Macon
Yes.
because a lot of people don't know. They don't even know we exist. And anyway, so it's just a great opportunity to serve, to give, and to help others in need, and just to serve the community here, and really in that we serve the Middle Georgia area.
It's great. And the show's called Go Tell the World. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always something to tell the others. Now, if you're a care pregnancy center there, and maybe you're just starting out as a center and you don't really have the ideas, like she said, go visit the Kobe Center. I think everyone should be networking together. I think no one should
Yes.
be going, I'm Paul's, I'm James. We
Yeah.
should all be like we do our special ministry, and that's why I started Go Tell the World in the first place. Everyone in the group of co-hosts have their own. Some are for teens, some are pro-life, some are doing women's ministries, and they all have their own section. And then they also come on the show and talk about the Lord in some capacity. Today, our show is about let there be life. His life brings life. And we're so grateful shout out again to Suzanne and Richard for being so generous of their time and talent and
Mm-hmm.
treasure. And then to pick the best treasure of all, Jan, to be on.
Well,
I
thank
just
you, and thank you.
perfect cast for you, Jade, to be this
I,
position is God's way. And I know you've had confirmation many times of this is where God has led you. And
Mhm.
thank you again. You're such a gift. Next time you come on with maybe Emily, if you want to. And that
Oh
Emily
yes,
Jed said that I may go on, and I don't know her schedule may have got busy, but with somebody go 2 by 2. And so Emily does the ministry called Enthronement of the Sacred Heart. So may
yes,
God bless you. And Jen, I'm
and
going to sign
thank
off.
you,
And
and
if you
thank
want to
you
get
for all
hold.
you do, Ellen.
Thank you. Thank you. I do the best I can. That's I would say this. Get a hold of me. Go Tell the World. It's on YouTube under Ellen Mongan. And also my website is www.ellenmongan.com. I almost forgot to plug myself. May God be blessing you. Call me later and catch up another day.
Okay, that sounds good. Bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, we're still here.
It's still recording.
I know. Just this. Okay. Thank you again. May God be
Okay.
blessed.